Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. I am your host, Bronco Bill. This is a show that is everything Broncos and sports topics related. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your subscriptions. Please give a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Before we get into the topics, let me just bring you up to date on the shows that are on my channel as well as the MHRT Network. On Tuesdays, 4 p.m. on the YouTube channel under Broncos Breakdown, hosted by me, Bronco Bill, you will find this episode on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Then also on Tuesday on the MHRT Network at 4 p.m. is the 5280 show. And it's a great show. They have guests, and that one's live 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the MHRT Network. Also on Wednesday, a brand new show called Wild Wild West. It's going to feature a fan of the Broncos, a fan of the Chargers, a fan of the Chiefs, and a fan of the Raiders. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting that they're going to spar it off, so to speak. There's going to be a lot of bantering back and forth, but I think it's going to be a great show. So tune in on Wednesdays, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That one is uploaded. That one's not live. It is uploaded. Thursday is Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, hosted by Johnny Baki and his really good friend Isaiah Henderson. That one's live on Thursday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then on Friday, my show on MHRT Network moves from Wednesday to Friday. 4, 5, 6, and 7 uploaded. New show, different than this one, on the MHRT Network, Broncos Breakdown, hosted by me, Bronco Bill. So thanks, guys. I know you're going to find a show that you like. I know you're going to find one that you want. You're going to subscribe to MHRT. We know you will, because it's a show for everybody. It's got everything, something for everybody to tune into. So enjoy. Check out the shows. Find one that you like. And we really appreciate your viewership and subscriptions. All right, let's get into the topics that I have for today's show. First one is Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos haven't begun negotiations on a new contract. Neither party seems to be in a huge hurry at this point in time because Wilson has 2 years left on his current contract. Now, his current contract was a 4-year contract that he signed with the Seattle Seahawks. And he has 2 years left, approximately 55 million or so left on that contract. Does that mean that the Broncos and Wilson will not get a new contract done? No, that's not what that means. What it means by not negotiating anything now is because Russell Wilson is still trying to get acclimated to teammates, to the coaches, to the playbooks, to everything involving the Denver Broncos before this season starts. He wants to be in top performance, top gear, top focus. And then negotiation can be done in the background through his agent. Russell Wilson doesn't need to focus on that. So he's not in a big hurry. He knows he is not going anywhere after 2 years, except to stay in Denver. That's obvious. The other thing is, with all these high contracts that an Aaron Rodgers signed and that a Devontae Adams signed, these contracts of high value, also Tyreek Hill, these contracts of high dollar amount is not where the Broncos want to be right now. And Russell Wilson is good with that. He's good with that from the standpoint that he knows he's solid in Denver. He doesn't need to worry about a contract. He knows that'll get taken care of. His main focus is to get with the players, the receivers, the offensive coordinator, the head coach Hackett, to work with these guys and to get where he needs to be. So, guys, don't worry, don't fret, don't be concerned. Russell Wilson is not going anywhere after 2 years in Denver. Okay? Now, let's move on. Speaking of quarterbacks, Andy Dalton and the New Orleans Saints have agreed to a contract of 1 year, $6 million. Now, Dalton will be a solid quarterback for the recovering Jameis Winston's torn ACL. Now, this is really interesting because Andy Dalton, he was okay in Cincinnati. I mean, he wasn't great. He was okay. Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston. I mean, he's good. He's not great, but he's good. So to find two players that are basically the same type, Jameis Winston obviously has more speed. He's elusive in the pocket, that kind of thing. But I wouldn't say either one of them would be a franchise quarterback for the Saints, especially after Brees retired. These two don't even match up to a Drew Brees in his prime. But I know the Saints are in rebuilding. I just found it interesting that they bring in an Andy Dalton, obviously, to take over for Jameis Winston because he's still recovering from his ACL surgery and tear, or I should say his tear and then surgery. So they bring in a veteran in Andy Dalton. He knows football. He's a veteran. And I think that's the reason why the Saints brought him in, because they didn't want to lose any ground, so to speak, going from a Jameis Winston to, I don't know, a draft pick or somebody like that. So I understand the signing. I just thought it was a little, not odd, but different because, in my opinion, it really wasn't a step up. It was more or less an even playing field. They're both about equal in what they've done in the NFL in their careers. All right, let's move to Albert Okwuegbunam. Now, in the Pat Shurmur offense, Albert O was not used as he should have been. Now, Nathaniel Hackett intends to use Albert Okwuegbunam more in the passing game and to develop his ability even more in the blocking game. Okay, here's the thing. When Pat Shurmur was the offensive coordinator, the Broncos offense was vanilla at best. I mean, it was a watered down vanilla. I mean, it was bad. It was ugly. It was non-imaginative. And they basically had Albert O in as a blocker. Well, that's not his strength. His strength is in the passing game. And Nathaniel Hackett knows that. So does Clint Kubiak. And Okwuegbunam, there was a play, I believe it was last year. Yes, last year. He caught a pass for 8-10 yards, maybe less than that. And he runs it for 70 yards for a touchdown. He can be elusive. He has to be more elusive. He has to be more like Williams, Devontae Williams. I'm not sure anybody in the NFL is like that. I mean, carrying 3 or 4 guys on your back for 20 yards. I don't see Albert O doing that, but at least breaking a tackle or two. And then he wants to use and increase his ability to pass block or to run block. And that's important because if you're going to be a tight end, there are going to be plays where you have to block on that side of the ball in a run or in a pass. Or even if you're doing a decoy or being a decoy and blocking and then going out. If you don't have a really good blocking scheme or system or ability, the defender's not going to believe that you're blocking. He's going to totally believe that you're bluffing and you're going to go out for a pass. So he's not going to take it seriously, or he's going to go right around you and get the running back or get the quarterback. So I like this. I like the fact that Nathaniel Hackett sees the ability that Albert O has and is going to utilize that. Unlike Pat Shurmur squashed him, held him in a little acorn shell. You can't do that in the NFL. This is a totally different NFL than 10, 15, 20 years ago. It is a more diverse NFL. It's a more imaginative NFL. It's a more innovative, if you please, in the NFL than it was years ago. And I love the fact that Nathaniel Hackett sees this in Albert Okwuegbunam. Do I wish we still had a Noah Fant? Yes, I do. Absolutely. But sometimes you have to give up players in order to get that key gold nugget that you're looking for in Russell Wilson that we got. So I like Albert Okawebanam. I mean, yeah, I really do. I like Albert. He's a good player. He's a solid player, and I firmly believe under a Nathaniel Hackett head coach led team and a offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak quarterback coach, I feel that this offense and the players that really need to shine will be elevated, unlike the old coaching staff we had in Vic and in with Pat Shermer. That didn't work, and it never will work in this NFL that it is today. So I can't wait to see what Albert O brings to the table these games coming up. I really can't. I know that he's going to be better. I know he's going to be he's excited, just like all the players are, just like fans are, just like I am. I'm excited to see this team. I really, really am. I haven't been this excited about watching the Broncos, although I watched them every single game, every single year for the past, I don't know, since 1976. Okay? So just because we lose 7 games out of 17 doesn't mean I didn't watch the 10 that we lost. Of course I did. I watched all 17 games. I always will. If they had 20 games, I'd watch all 20. Absolutely, because this is my team. But I haven't been this excited about our possibilities, our potential to get back to the playoffs and then move up the ladder into playoffs and eventually get back to the Super Bowl. That's why I'm excited. And that's why I can't wait for this season. And that's why I'm looking forward to seeing Albert O be more productive in this new offensive and, in this new head coaching staff. Love it. All right. Let's go to this one here. This one here kind of grabbed me, and I had to really read the article to really kind of understand where it was coming from. And this is about Randy Gregory. Now, we know that I mentioned in my video or my show last week that Randy Gregory, had issues off the field. And there were some very, very serious issues, but he says that he's gotten past that. Well, what I have to bring you today regarding Randy Gregory is on the field issue. And here it is. It says, could the Broncos end up with buyer's remorse on Randy Gregory? And the article was written by James Marilot, and he's the editor for the Denver Fan. And here's what it says. When the deal was announced for Randy Gregory, there were some trepidations, but the Broncos filled a void on their roster. They also gave the 5-year, $70 million contract with $28 million guaranteed to a player with a bit of a troubled past. The issue, however, was that he wasn't on the field very often during those 5 seasons and had only played in 50 games. He only started 12 of the 50, and he recorded 16 and a half career sacks. In other words, the Broncos were taking a huge gamble. It was a risk. There's no other way to put it. On Tuesday, and we go back, this is several weeks, so I'll say several weeks ago, it was revealed that Gregory had shoulder surgery, a procedure that will keep him out of the team's off-field program. Both parties claim that they were aware of it before giving him a contract that averages $15 million a season. The issue is whether or not the edge rusher will be able to live up to the deal. The Broncos were betting that Gregory's off-the-field issues, which have hounded him since his college days at Nebraska, were behind him. Now they're also gambling that he's healthy. Now remember, guys, Bradley Chubb has been in and out of games. He's been injured. He's had this issue or that issue or whatever the case may be. He has not been on the field for an entire 16 and now 17 game season. And now they're worrying about Gregory? Of course they are. They're going to pay this guy close to $14 million a year. And he's only what? Like I go back what I said earlier. He only started 12 games. He only played in 50 total games in 5 years. What? That's a gamble and a half. And then some. Absolutely it is. Like, go on. It sounds eerily familiar to what the Broncos endured last season with Bradley Chubb. That's what I was saying. This goes back to an identical carbon copy of the Bradley Chubb situation. Is Gregory going to be able to stay on the field? I don't know. Is Bradley Chubb going to be able to stay on the field for an entire season? Well, going by past history, no. Same with Gregory. So that's not to say Gregory's first year will follow that same trajectory, but it's impossible to say it won't. And that's the issue I have with this signing. Okay, if his off-field issues are behind him and he can get past it and he doesn't repeat them, that's phenomenal. That's great. That's fantastic. But what about the on-field? That's where he needs to be 17 games a season. Not 4 or 5 games. Not Bradley Chubb out for 5 or 6 and then Gregory's out for 6 or 7. No, that's not what this team needs. And that's not why they signed Gregory. They signed Gregory to stay on the field. But now he's had surgery. He's going to miss the preseason, the workouts. And now they're just trying to keep him on the field the entire time. I continue. It doesn't mean he won't be good in Denver, but it does mean that's now more likely than it was on the day the deal was announced. There were always a concern that the Broncos would someday regret their decision, that they'll end up having buyer's remorse. Let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope that's not the case. Because if the Broncos end up with buyer's remorse on this and Bradley Chubb can't stay healthy, those are 2 key players on defense that won't be there to impact the game. And you don't want to spend that kind of money on a player that has issues. I mentioned this on my show last week. Go back and watch it if you want to. I made these exact same comments. I would not have done it. I don't like hiring or signing players or people in any form of workmanship, any form of a business that has on-field, off-field issues. You don't want to bring that negative energy or that the baggage or that distraction into your business or your clubhouse. You don't want to do that. So I'm hoping that Gregory is past his off-field issues. Absolutely. Hope so for sure. I also hope that he recovers 100% on his surgery and that he can stay healthy and on the field. Otherwise, in my opinion, yes, that was a mistake by Peyton. Should that happen and there's buyer's remorse, that would be a huge mistake. Don't say I didn't warn you guys. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right, let's go to Colin Kaepernick. Now, this is a different issue involving Colin Kaepernick. Now, you know he's trying to get back in the NFL and all of that. He's been working out with some receivers for the Seattle Seahawks. This is a totally different direction. Colin Kaepernick has joined Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. Really? Joined him in Michigan? Oh, there's a catch. There's a catch, guys. Colin Kaepernick has been an honorary captain for the Michigan Wolverines spring game. The game was played on April 2nd. He has ties to Harbaugh dating back to his days in the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I find that interesting. He didn't go to Michigan in college, but I find that interesting because, he has ties with Harbaugh. And the other connection that comes out of this is Jim Harbaugh, when he was being recruited, so to speak, or interviewed, whatnot, for the Minnesota Vikings head coach, he tried to persuade the general manager to bring along Colin Kaepernick should he be hired as head coach. I don't know if that was one of the reasons why he wasn't. I know there's other hidden reasons, but that's interesting that Colin Kaepernick actually had somebody in his corner in Harbaugh when he was being interviewed by the Minnesota Vikings for their head coaching position. So Kaepernick was back in football, so to speak, as an honorary captain of Michigan Wolverines spring game that was back on April 2nd. Find that a little bit interesting. Okay. Now, guys, it's time for, you got it, the Jackass of the Week. All right, guys, this one really bothers me. It bothers me a lot on two fronts, actually three fronts. One, a phenomenal soccer player. Two, a female. Three, a mother. This one, I don't understand. I'll read what happened, and then, of course, I'll comment on it, like always. All right. This week's Jackass of the Week goes to Hope Solo. The former U.S. national goalkeeper, Hope Solo, was arrested at a Walmart parking lot. She was booked on DUI charges as well as resisting arrest and misdemeanor child abuse. Her two children were in the car at the time of her arrest. Guys, I don't get it. She's a folk hero of sorts. Now, I'm not a big soccer fan. I hardly watch soccer ever. Hardly ever. But that U.S. women's national team was phenomenal. I mean, Hope Solo was a phenomenal goalkeeper. It seemed like she would stop anything and everything that she had her eyes on. She would get her hand on, or her arms, or her leg, or whatever she had to do to stop it. It seemed like she was invincible. She was a national hero of sorts. Like I said, she was like a folk hero. Everybody knows her name. Kind of like that song, Cheers. Everybody knows your name. Everybody knew Hope Solo. And the smile and the beauty and all of that goes with her. I thought she was one of the greatest. Like I said, I don't watch soccer, but I watched it because of her and her ability and her talent. I'm disappointed. Okay, let's put the athletics side apart. Let's put the goalkeeper part of her aside. She's female. She's a mom. She has her kids in the car. She's resisting arrest. She's in a Walmart parking lot on suspicion of DUI driving. How embarrassing would that be to her? I mean, she's got her kids in the car, and now she's arrested. Hope, I had a lot of aspiration. I mean, I loved watching you play. I enjoyed it. What does your husband think of this? I mean, see, when you do something like that, Hope, you don't just involve yourself. Even if your kids were not in the car, it still would not involve just you. It would have ripple effects, like dropping a tiny rock into a very, very calm pool of water. You get ripple effects. It doesn't just drop and sink and nothing happens. You just don't do something like this, and it only involves you. It involves your kids. It involves your husband. It involves your fans. It involves people in your family. And yes, your reputation for sure. Hope, I thought you were a great role model. I really did. For the younger kids coming up in soccer, wanting to be like you, your talent, your ability. and just throw it away. Just totally destroy it. Why? Why? Because you did not have any common sense. Your hope so. Thought you're above the law. Of what you did. You put your kids in harm's way, put yourself in harm's way, and made a total embarrassment of yourself, your family, and lost the respect. I can't speak for everybody, but you lost a lot of respect from me. I wish you the best. I hope you get help. I hope that you do not allow this to happen again. You're a mom. Be responsible. Take care of your kids. Okay? Just take care of your kids and get better. All right, guys, we'll leave this segment and we'll be right back. Okay, we are going to go to Bruce Arians. Now, Bruce Arians, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady's team, okay? But Bruce Arians is retiring from head coaching and is moving to the front office as senior football consultant for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Todd Bowles will take over as Tampa Bay's new head coach. Okay, that's good. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. He wants to do something different. But I kind of think there's something behind all of this. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's they want to give Todd Bowles a head coach as being an African-American. Not sure. Could be. I wonder if Tom Brady had something to do with it. I don't know if there was a fallout between he and Arians. I don't know. I know Tom Brady carries a lot of weight on whatever team he's on, whether it's New England or Tampa Bay. That's obvious. But I don't know behind the scenes of what happened. If anything, maybe it was just Bruce Arians said, hey, you know what? I'm going to try something different. I'm going to hand the reins to Todd Bowles, let him take over. He knows the system. He knows the scheme. He knows the players. Maybe that was it. I'm not really buying it 100%. I'm really not. I think there was an issue between Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, or Bruce Arians wanted to hand over the reins to somebody that he entrusted, or he just wanted to try something different. I don't know. I just found it very, very interesting that a Bruce Arians, who would really love to win another Super Bowl, decide to change roles basically in midstream. What I mean by midstream is, getting ready for the new season coming up, and all of a sudden he pulls this card. So I wish him the best. I don't know how Tom Brady is going to succeed under Todd Bowles as opposed to Bruce Arians. But we'll find out. It's always interesting whatever involves Tom Brady. It's always interesting. So thought I'd throw that out there. And for whatever it's worth, guys, new head coach in Tampa Bay. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up this show with some Tiger Woods news. Now, I believe it was a year and a half or so. Tiger Woods was involved in a serious car crash in the LA area right after a tournament, and seriously injured. Could have been killed. Had some broken legs, 2 broken legs or femurs or something of that nature. I did a whole show on that. I should say I did a show with that topic a while back. So you can search for that and get the information if you want. But he is trying to make a comeback into golf. It's been about 18 months, I believe, since he's actually played golf or since the injury. And he's trying to make a comeback, and he's going to see if it's possible for him to play, you got it, the Masters, Augusta National, basically the Super Bowl of golf. No other way to put it. The Masters is the Masters. Now, this being Tuesday, the Masters is going to have a practice round like they do all tournaments, practice round on Wednesday. and then the tournament kicks off on Thursday and plays through Sunday. Now, if Tiger Woods feels that he cannot, during the practice round on Wednesday, if he feels he cannot be at his best or even be competitive starting on Thursday when the Masters begins for real, he may bow out. Or he's also said that he may just do the practice round, of course, and then play Thursday and Friday and try and make the cut. Now, for those of you who don't know golf or follow golf, I happen to play golf. I love it. What happens in tournaments is there's 4 days, but you have to make the cut. And there's a determining number, whether it's 3 under, 2 under, 1 under, even par, +1, whatever it is. Whatever the PGA deems the cut line, you have to be on that line. Let's say it's 2 under. You have to be 2 under par or better, like 2 under, 3 under, 4 under, whatever. You cannot be 1 under and make the cut. You have to be at that cut line or better in order to play on Saturday and Sunday. When the money, those are called money rounds. That's where you're in the final 2 days, and you can make some very significant money the higher up you are on the leaderboard. That being said, if Tiger Woods does not make the cut, he at least he said he wants to try. So if he doesn't make the cut, it's not saying that he can't ever come back again. All it's saying is he just didn't make the cut at probably the hardest golf course on the tour, and that's why it's called the Masters. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And remember, Tuesday, uploaded 4 p.m., Broncos Breakdown on YouTube, my channel, every Tuesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Also on Tuesday, MHRT has a 5280 live show, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Wednesday, a brand new show being uploaded. It's called Wild Wild West. It features a fan from every AFC West team, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, and Chiefs. That's uploaded every Wednesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then on Thursday, you have the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. It's live, featuring Johnny and his good friend Isaiah. That's live every Thursday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then on Friday, this coming Friday, and every Friday afterwards, my show on MHRT Network, Broncos Breakdown, hosted by me, Bronco Bill, will be uploaded 4, 5, 6, and 7 for your viewing. And I know you guys are going to enjoy all the shows. Please check them out. I know you'll find one that you like, and then one that we really appreciate you subscribing to, and also give a big thumbs up. Always appreciated for your support, guys. It means a lot. You guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you on the MHRT Broncos Breakdown on Friday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Take care, guys. Until then, bye-bye.